It's the third entry, and as I promised, analyzing it is going to be a challenge compared to what we've covered so far. For those of you familiar with the series, I would like to set expectations by saying the episode I'm covering isn't the one focused on a certain apprentice. While it may seem like said episode fits the criteria for the formula I'm covering at the moment, the apprentice in question was an established character since the first episode. So it's less of a ghost from the past, and more of a reveal for the present. For anyone not familiar with the series, I think I'll let my guest star handle the summary.
They're called cryptids. All the strange, exotic creatures that regular science doesn't believe in. At least not yet. Skunk apes, chupacabras, the Bishopville lizard man. I've been studying these things with my mom and dad since I was born. And trust me, there's a lot of weird stuff out there. There are other people out there like us. Okay, not exactly like us. They're scientists mostly, like my mom and dad. All working together to solve the mysteries of the universe first so that the bad guys never get the chance. They call themselves secret scientists. And the cryptids, that's what we do. Any kind, any size, anywhere in the world, the Saturday family is gonna get the call. So yeah, 2 scientists, their kid, a Komodo dragon, and a 7-foot gorilla cat. Ow!
This episode the focus will be on the teen dad of the series, Solomon, having his old mentor coming back into his life and asking him to return to their old research facility. What he finds there and how it affects his view of his mentor leads us directly into our first category.
Louisiana. It's where he used to live, where I helped him with his work.
Used to live? So where does he live now?
He doesn't. Basil Lancaster died more than 25 years ago.
As for whether or not that segue means we're actually dealing with Ghost this time, I'll leave that for the next segment. Instead I would like to focus on the sense of warmth that's present throughout the entire episode. Normally when using this formula, a story presents itself with an atmosphere of unease since questions of trust and motivation naturally come up here. While those questions aren't omitted, they share focus with the idea of how much Lancaster actually meant to Solomon. Going so far as to call him a second father and attributed his continued interest in the field of science to the time they spent together. This childlike wonder is added upon thanks to the primary location of the episode being the old research facility. Showing how his memories of this place plays a bigger role in how he sees it over its actual condition. At the same time he's not completely blind to how much it has fallen apart over time, and also gives his own doubts on whether or not the message to come here may have been with sinister intentions. Despite some of the more suspicious aspects to all of this, neither his wife Drew or son Zach never openly questioned him about the legitimacy of all of this. Surprisingly enough I don't see this as much of an issue for 2 reasons. The first is that at this point in the series the Saturdays have seen enough bizarre phenomenons that Ghost giving them a Skype call shouldn't be too far-fetched. The second reason is that if 2 people were going to show complete trust in a person's choices, it would likely be their spouse and child. This is made even more understandable thanks to Solomon himself being the initial skeptic, and never becoming too unreasonable in how much he invests himself in the project neither he or Lancaster were able to finish. This episode manages to keep the value of the past relationship at a clear consistent level, yet never to the detriment of the mystery or concern that does come with a plot like this. I couldn't give this section anything less than an excited pass.
Now I'm at least intrigued.
Who are you?
I recognize them. They used to work here. Handymen, hired laborers.
Is that what Dr. Lancaster told you?
The reveal of the episode is that Lancaster was in fact dead this entire time.
Thank you, Daddy.
The message was created by associates of Lancaster who planned on leading Solomon to the island, so he could finish his mentor's final project giving them the ability to create cryptids which they planned on selling to anyone who could meet their desired price range. What hurts this reveal slightly is how the message mentions the series' antagonist right after Solomon says he rather focus on him than Lancaster. I say slightly since that suspicious aspect to the message is likely to be missed by first-time viewers. The larger issue is that after the reveal, the central antagonist of the episode are characters with barely any personality and who don't even have most of their names mentioned. I doubt it's a hot take to say no one who watches this series sees any of them as memorable. What this twist does accomplish is tying 3 individual ways this formula concludes. We have the reveal that the so-called ghost were only looking out for themselves. It maintains the positive image the focal character had for said ghost, yet also shows that said image wasn't entirely accurate to who they were as a person. Doing all of this simultaneously does change the central conflict from one of trust, to the dangerous combination that is human curiosity and individual nostalgia. The former being appropriate for a story focusing on scientists, and the latter being done in a way to where it isn't just one person having a glamorized view of the past. It's different from how this story is traditionally told, but avoids negatively affecting the main purpose of this specific formula. Again, the episode earns another excited pass.
I can't believe the rational scientific explanation was actually right for once. Score one for you.
But he did leave me a message. No ghosts this time. Just the machine.
Now time for the difficult part of the episode. The fact that it holds no relevance to the overall series. It isn't about the actual protagonist and his personal journey. Solomon doesn't learn anything here that comes up in the main plot of the series. There isn't any clear change in his personality that can only be explained by watching this episode, and no character that originates here shows up again. Yet, its irrelevancy is what solidifies the episode's quality. From the moment he decided to go, to the moment he has to tear down a place that he saw as his own home, this has been about Solomon finding closure. A sentiment that would be hard to buy into if the series kept forcing it to come back one way or the other. This facility, and his mentor, or his past, it will stay in one place and even deteriorate with time, while he has the choice to move forward and continue to grow and change. A mentality that isn't often displayed in fantastical media, or at least isn't fully acted upon. Naturally, this episode fails in this category, but said failure led up to a scene like this.
You're the only legacy I'm proud of, Saul. I hope you're a better man of science than I was. But I know you're a better man.
That was so sweet. Sweet like candy.
With the month reaching its end, now's the time to focus on what some consider to be the jewel to Man of Action's crown.